What is up, Watch fam, and welcome to Rant&H. I'm on vacation with my family. The lighting is kind of getting dark because I put off this video for a little too long. Wristwatch check before I begin. First of all, I'm wearing two rubber bands, which is a ridiculous thing. I'm wearing a date dress. I hate the way I look. I'm wearing my 1977 blue dial date dress and two rubber bands. I'm wearing the rubber bands because I wasn't wearing a watch like all day. I was in the water, and vintage watches and water really don't mix. So I had to put something on my wrist, but now I forgot to take them off. So I look kind of like an ass. And before I get into any of this, before I even jump into my topic, follow us on Snapchat and like us on Facebook, both Theo and Harris. It would mean the absolute world to me and the team. I'm going to rant a little bit. Today's rant is about why I why I respect Michael Kors more than I respect most other people and companies in the watch industry. First of all, it's funny that Michael Kors is even in the watch industry, right? That statement in and of itself is not only first off, it's inquisitive, and then it gets embarrassing once you realize why it is, right? So, for those of you guys who have heard my rants before about marketing and about really relating to your consumer, this is kind of similar, but it's actually even making me more angry, right? I see posts all the time on Instagram and on wherever mediums, making fun of people, mostly women, who wear Michael Kors, right? Calling them basic, calling them typical, white girls. And that's, I guess, you're right on a fundamental level, but it's funny that you choose to acknowledge that these people are basic or typical or whatever it may be, which is annoying in and of itself, and ignore or turn a blind eye to the fact that you're part of the community that has caused the whole problem, that has caused the need to birth this company, Michael Kors, what's up, dude? Which is irrelevant otherwise, which should be irrelevant. But because our industry has been so ignorant, has been so neglectful, has been so bad at their job, they have made Michael Kors a billionaire. So although I hate our industry for allowing Michael Kors to exist, holy shit, do I respect the fact that he capitalized on that. All right, so now a little bit, let's describe what's going on here with Michael Kors. What does Michael Kors do in the watch industry? Michael Kors watches, mostly which are rip-offs of Rolexes and different watches, in that kind of, well, mostly Rolexes, right? Rolex Stella dials, Rolex Daytonas, more people going to the pool. Rolex Daytonas, Rolex Stella dials, mostly in gold, in Everose and things like that. Even some like Hublot kind of looks. They basically rip off and design famous brands and sell them to people who don't even know they are famous brands, right? Most of the people that buy a rip-off Daytona like this one have no idea it's even a rip-off Daytona. They just think it's pretty, right, and affordable, but not so affordable where it's not impressive to other people, right? So Michael Kors kind of hit this sweet spot where it's appealing, it is attainable, but it's also a status symbol, right, for young girls. Young, I don't mean 12-year-olds. I mean, 18, 20, 25, 30, and even beyond. I know many of grown women that wear Michael Kors, and I have no problem with that. So Michael Kors basically said, okay, I can cater to these people by using designs that already work with the mass market, designs that have been proven to be beautiful and appreciated by people. I can, plate them in gold or whatever the he plates them in, put a cheap quartz movement in them. Really, they're shit. And make a fortune on margins because these people have no idea how a watch should work, what makes a good watch, etc., etc. I played with someone's chronograph one time, and I'm not an expert by any means, but I think I know how a chronograph works. I played with Michael Kors chronograph for like 5 minutes. I have no idea how it worked. Couldn't figure it out because it made no sense. The registers didn't really work. The second hand for the chronograph wasn't a chronograph hand. It was just a second hand that was running. You couldn't stop it. It made absolutely no sense. It was basically for show and design, much more so than anything else. But I do respect the fact that Michael Kors was intuitive enough, or those designers were intuitive enough to know that these consumers, our consumers, don't know or care about watches. So I want to ask you guys not to stop shitting on the brand, but I want to ask you to remember the fact that not you, but the companies that you so admire and their ignorance and their arrogance is what actually even caused this disaster that is a guy that never should have made so many hundreds of millions of dollars in watches, because he did one simple thing. It catered to a female market, a market that watch companies have neglected forever, basically. When's the last time you saw, a watch company not just making a female version of a man's watch, but catering to women, giving a what women like? I just don't see it. Does it exist? Yes, I'm sure it exists somewhere. I'm sure. But nonetheless, in the major brands, in the major market, you do not see anyone trying to get women interested in watches or get women buying watches. Nobody targets women, and it's a disgrace because women spend just as much money as men. And quite frankly, I'm probably a little bit guilty of it as well. Not that I make Theo and Harris a men's shop, and I don't mean to if I do. And I know that most of most of our viewership is male, but it is kind of natural. But I'm also a very small company, with a very small team of 3 people. When you're $100 million, $300 million, billion-dollar company, you can't make those mistakes. You need to open up your market. You need to recognize that it's an enormous market with enormous potential if you double it. I mean, how dare you cut off half of the spending potential? It's ridiculous, and quite frankly, it's kind of misogynistic and insulting. So overall, cut the shit making fun of women who like Michael Kors because you just sound kind of stupid. There are people that have different interests, value different things, and are going to spend their money on different items. Not just what you think is valuable. Not just an Edda movement with a really good, historical dial. It doesn't matter to the mass market. I don't have a $400 million investment that I have to return. And if I did, I would be doing this exact same thing Michael Kors is doing. I would be recognizing female audiences, understanding submarkets, and capitalizing. And when you guys made fun of it on Instagram, I wouldn't give a shit. Thank you guys so much for watching Rant&H. I hope you guys enjoyed the topic. I think it's a really interesting thing, and I think that we all, in any matter, watches, politics, whatever it may be, should probably start thinking about alternative perspectives and actual market possibilities, not just these blind eye, this is what I think, end of stories. We should really consider alternative markets. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching.